My boss gave and took away my promotion because I'm a woman, so I'm taking him to court. For context, I, 22F, have been working for a fast food chain for 2.5 years, and I have been engaged since May 2019. Back in January, my manager brought me into the office and offered me a promotion, and she said she was relaying the information from the owner. The promotion was to become a shift manager at one of the other restaurants in my city. I would obviously get a pay raise, better hours, and various other perks. I initially told her I needed to think about taking it, but I was definitely excited and enthusiastic. Fast forward to 2 weeks ago, I had a meeting with her to discuss some questions I had about the job, such as benefits, work location, training, etc. One of my questions was whether it was reasonable to request, as part of my new contract, to have the week of my wedding off in August. She said absolutely and would ask the owner for me if that could be written into the contract. On Wednesday, I went into her office to ask about any new info or developments. She shut the door and said that the offer had been retracted, and I would not be getting the promotion. She explained that the owner had decided to retract the offer after learning I was getting married and that, a young woman getting married means she's going to get pregnant. She also said that, if you were a man, we would not be having this conversation. I was, and still am, absolutely gobsmacked. It's the first time in my life that I've been discriminated against based on my gender. I'm so angry. I've essentially lost my job now. I'm still currently employed there, but I have no desire to continue working there whatsoever. I feel utterly disgusted and somewhat dirty, even though I did nothing wrong. I love working there, and all the people at my restaurant have not done anything wrong to me, but it's the fact that I would be working for an owner that's so blatantly discriminatory. I've sought legal advice at an equality organization in my city and am waiting for a response from the person in charge. I've also opened a complaint in my company's HR department, who have asked me to contact the owner directly to understand exactly why I haven't gotten this promotion, as they said that I or my manager may have misunderstood the reason why. Thank you so much for reading. I'm not sure what outcome I want from all this, I just had to get it off my chest. Update 1. So obviously, a lot has happened between my first post and this one, so I'll do my best to summarize the past 2 years of my life. February 2020, I had an in-person meeting with my manager, the owner of the restaurant, and a supposed mediator. I legally recorded the audio of the meeting, keep this in mind as it's very important. I was very unhappy with the outcome of this meeting, felt like no one listened to me, and I was bullied by the higher-ups into making this all go away. March 2020, after all this went down, I sought a lawyer at a local union firm who agreed to take on my case. Due to the laws in my country, Switzerland, my case was classified as a civil one between two individuals, so there could be no criminal consequences, and my monetary compensation would be limited to a 3-month salary, as written in Swiss law. Between March and August 2020, there was lots of back and forth between my lawyer and my ex-employer, basically denying all responsibility, not wanting to do anything, etc. August 2020, again, as per Swiss law, a mediation meeting was set up between myself, my boss, and the lawyers in front of a judge. The judge was purely there to help keep things civil if necessary, no say whatsoever. This mediation meeting lasted 15 minutes, with my boss's lawyer refusing to budge. My boss didn't even turn up to this meeting. Since we couldn't come to an agreement, I was given permission to file a formal case, which meant a judge would hear my case and rule on it. Between August 2020 and May 2021, there was hardly any news from either side. COVID slowed everything to a snail's pace, so I was told to just wait while all the administrative cogs turned. May 2021, the big day. My case was heard in front of a judge, with witnesses called from both sides to testify and lots of evidence filed, from my side at least. My key piece of evidence was this audio recording, in which my boss and manager basically put their foot in it. The judge asked them both to explain themselves, with neither giving very convincing arguments to defend themselves. I stood in court and told my account of the story, staring my boss right in the face. Between May 2021 and February 2022, there was more and more waiting. I knew the law was slow, but geez Louise. At this point, I had put the case to the back of my mind. February 7, 2022, my state civil court ruled in my favor, that is to say, I won. I can't begin to describe how incredible it feels. I cried on the phone with my lawyer when she called me to tell me the news. It was never about the money, it was always about accountability and acknowledgement. I'm so proud of myself for pursuing this despite the odds stacked against me. Discrimination is incredibly hard to prove, but it's too bad I had that recording, lol. To all those 2 years ago that commented and supported me, thank you. My ex-employer was found guilty of discriminatory behavior, as so written in Swiss law, and ordered to pay compensation. I know my story is one of thousands out there, with so many of them never receiving the justice or recognition they deserve, but I hope this gives confidence to others that we can do it. Translated news excerpt. The manager of a McDonald's will have to put his hand in his pocket to compensate a former employee, as decided by the Civil Court of Neuchâtel. Guilty of gender discrimination, the franchisee had refused a promotion to the victim due to her upcoming marriage and an alleged risk of maternity. Supported by the UNIA union, the ex-employee resigned then took the matter to court, which ruled in her favor at the beginning of last week. In addition to compensation of 6,000 francs, the franchisee will also have to pay his former employee 2,400 francs in costs.